in 15 minutes.
You're live.
We are live.
We're live?
I won't believe it unless Ricky Patel comes.
Come so cliche. Come up with a new one now.
Okay. Today I'm going to do na to na to na to na to na to na to. No, I'm doing this. Na to na to na to na to na to.
What does that mean?
It means nacho nacho, and it's in Telugu. What is that indication? Sunrisers.
Are you supporting the Sunrisers?
Yes.
How come?
Yeah, that's interesting actually.
Your South Indian brethren.
The
Is that
brotherhood is
reason?
in trouble. Same group, na Sun Group.
Oh, Sun Group, Tamil owners.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, there was a very bad PJ that was going around in the north about.
In the north.
Yes, particularly in the north.
Okay.
Why are South Indians all black? They were
But
saying
they're not.
They're not, but then the joke was that because they watch Sun TV.
So they get tanned.
Yes.
We might have trouble with our channel. It may get with you passing such racist comments.
Yeah.
We'll get a strike and it.
No. This is not racist.
But in your case, it won't happen because you're punning on yourself.
Punning
right?
on myself.
Okay,
Yes.
People normally will
If
say
I had said it as a North Indian, I'd
definitely.
be.
Oh, then
I was gone.
You are racist.
no, I would have taken out this and yay!
you would have.
The South Indian way of action.
Yeah.
What
Like
would you
the-
have taken on your t-shirt and all?
Yes, I would have taken a sickle.
Like you would have been like t-shirt like full.
So full Dada style.
Like that mafia in Chennai Express, na, they show Shah Rukh gets all scared.
See, the trolling's begun.
I haven't seen the Chennai Express at all.
Thank God.
It is that bad.
It's
You'll be sane.
misrepresentation of
At its
South
finest.
India, is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, he can say from experience.
He
But
can.
that happens a lot with the Hindi movies, Bollywood films.
See, even South Indian cinema is not covered in glory. They show the North Indians as villains. That's also bad.
It's like equal participation
Why is that?
way.
I don't know.
They
See,
take all the North Indian heroines.
Robot,
then,
yeah.
That they have no problem.
That
with.
I don't know. See, in Robot, a fine actor like Danny Denzongpa is shown as the villain.
No, but
But
he's
Danny
not.
has been a villain in so many
Yeah,
films.
even in,
True.
in
Hindi
Bollywood,
films.
like so many films.
A Sardarji is sometimes a villain.
That's a little
Yeah.
more on the
That's
nose.
bad.
Yeah. So, that's a big problem. So, even South Indians are not covered ourselves with glory.
No,
with
so in Hindi films, there used to be South Indian villains, but that was not by design, as in they needed a South Indian, they just fitted it. Like, remember that Shetty who used to be that bald guy?
Oh, Rami Reddy.
Yeah, remember
Rami
that?
Reddy, of course. He was a great guy. Worked in ETV. He was an Enadu journalist who came to the film line.
Film?
Yes.
Very popular he was.
Very good guy.
Yes.
But yes, unfortunately, he's no more. But he was a fine villain. In the 90s, when you were growing up, you would
Yes.
associate
But at
with
least
him.
in Hindi films, the villains are also North Indians. Only. All of them.
Because the lack of representation.
Exactly.
They're like, yeah, the good guys are also from.
Mohan Joshi was Anna in one movie, I remember, and he hammed up the South Indian accent terribly.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Mohan Joshi, brilliant actor, but
Yes.
sorry, that wasn't cool.
No, but then sometimes you have South Indian actors also hamming when it comes to North Indian roles.
Shivaji Ganesan, I remember in one Hindi film that he had come, oh my god. To make matters worse, he was a Sardarji. Sardarji talking in a Tamil accent.
Oh, God.
That must have been terrible. Which film is that?
It was from the 1960s, I don't remember. Ma, main tumko vachan deta hu, and he's a Sardarji.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness, I
What
felt.
all he watches, man.
No, but you know, this
What
I
all he
actually
watches?
have a real life interesting story on this. So this, someone who I know, she had once been in Chennai and saw an auto wala who was a Sardar
Yeah.
speaking fluent Tamil.
No, but that
No,
see,
but
they're like
that's
second,
correct.
Yeah, for
they're
generations
second,
on
third.
end, yeah.
Like in Cal, you will
Ah.
see a
Yeah.
lot of taxi drivers who are Sardarjis, but they speak
They speak
Bengali.
fluent Bengali,
Shane,
correct?
Because they're
I
like
will
third,
I will
fourth
tell you
generation.
why my India is now becoming great. Okay, my father went down to Chennai. He was lost. He met one guy. He was just walking on the street. Proper pure Tamil. My father was explaining that I came from this place. I came from this. This guy is listening. Okay, I'm listening. So he asked in Tamil, "Enga ponam namid? Where do you have to go?" He raised his hands. He folded his hand and said, "Sir, आपको माफ कीजिएगा, हम बिहार से हैं, यहाँ के नहीं हैं." So I told my dad, see, this is what happens of your arrogance. So it was a great sight.
I can imagine.
There is a game to be spoken
Of
about.
course.
The IPL game. That's what our family members are joining us for. Siddhant is back after a day's holiday.
He was technically not off. He did the Women's World Cup live
That
with
is
me.
a
Yes.
par for a course.
Of
There
course.
are no off days in journalism.
Of course. But of
You should consider it an off day when you are at home. That's
Yes.
it.
That is-
That's the only thing.
No, but we had fun doing it also.
Of course.
Yeah.
We
Superb
spoke
fun.
at length for like good half an hour.
Yes. And why did I begin with the Bollywood and South connection? Because it's Sunrisers Hyderabad, who are at the bottom of the table, -3 net run rate. After that, walloping, shellacking, whatever you want to call it.
The funny thing is, Chennai have lost 3 games and yet they're not at the bottom of the table. Sunrisers have lost one game and then they're at the bottom.
Today they will be. If Sunrisers win, Chennai will be at the bottom. So your bottom 2
Yeah.
teams will be Mumbai and Chennai. 9 IPL titles between
But do you
them.
think Sunrisers will win? You are supporting them, so the chances are slim.
Slim.
Yeah.
If he is supporting them, it's a better chance that they lose.
Lucknow.
He gets confused.
I changed my mind. I changed my mind.
No result आएगा क्या मैच में?
Super over.
No chances of rain.
ऊपर he was saying Lucknow.
I have my gut instinct tells me. Now I'm following my gut instinct. I'm saying it's going to be Sunrisers.
Ricky
what
is
will you
here. Ricky Patel is here. Sorry. Ricky
Okay,
is
we
with
saw
us.
him. We had seen him earlier.
Sorry, I missed.
Of course, of course.
Kushal Pingle saying hello, Lucknow.
Hello,
Okay,
Lucknow.
Hello,
nice
Lucknow.
speaking. Arav is saying hi to everyone. He says big fan. And Arav also, Babu Rao, Babu Rao is calling you Babu Rao only.
Yeah, thank you, Re Halkat.
Oh my god.
Yes, Halkat is a very, you can calmly say it because it's not a bad word or anything. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Arey, kya yaar tu bhi, in that sense. Like how he did the impression of, like, kya, chal re. Hai na? What was it? Okay.
Ashish Nehra.
Yes, we have a
He
game.
did
we have a game.
Ashish
Ashish
Nehra
Nehra.
impersonation.
Yeah.
That's on our Instagram handle. But your Babu Rao is also on Insta.
Yes. My lifelong dream fulfilled.
Being Paresh Rawal.
Yes. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Love that guy's acting.
Yeah, even I. No, Paresh Rawal in Hera Fairy was
Amazing.
gold standard.
Hangama.
Yeah, pretty much all those movies where he had to be like the lovable doof is very, very good.
Who is that man where he forgets the name?
In this thing,
Three.
Shahid Kapoor, Akshay Kumar, and
Yeah,
this film.
3-letter word.
Dीवाने हुए पागल.
Something like that.
Oh my god, that's a
That. No, in that Paresh Rawal is
Superb.
outstanding.
But
No,
wasn't
no, because he
Okay.
called Johnny.
Ahmadullah, Madhur Garg, Anshu Lagal, all of our regular watchers are here. Raj
hi.
Yepuru is also asking, is Ricky Patel here? Yes, he is.
Very much.
Las Rahul enjoyed the joke. Which joke was that? The first joke that you cracked in the day?
It can't surely be that
Dew.
PJ.
the one where you had to like.
Yeah, where I was again face palming. I think that's going to be the defining image.
He
of me
also
in this
wants to
place.
know, is it a Bollywood or a Tollywood review video? Which one? Both. We are doing
both.
Bolly and Tolly. Akash Yadav, the one who talks about all Yadavs
All
doing
Yadavs
well,
doing
says,
well.
Nikhil bhai, my favorite player is Liam Livingston. He always gets out or the ball. He always takes the ball out of the stadium. He always shows positive intent, coming at 14 for 2 and hitting. Yes, Liam Livingston is having a good tournament. Actually, he didn't start very well, but then now he's really come into his own. Came into the IPL with not so great form with the bat.
But
He had
that's
to
his
step
first
in.
50 in the IPL, the one he scored.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Right, so-
Now has come into.
No, but clean hitting. Clean hitting.
Abbas Rizvi has said something. We could discuss a bit on that. Salim P. Hassan is watching us from Dubai. He says, loves our show.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you with us. Sanket Joshi is watching us from Germany.
Dankeshna.
Big hi to him as well.
Kisan.
Any United fans here? Sanket Joshi wants to know. Raise your hand.
I have 2 hands.
Don't be embarrassed. Accept it.
I'm not embarrassed, just that my team, boss, you know what's happened to them.
Okay. Okay, let's take this comment. Abbas Rizvi's comment. He says, guys, SRH is strong and surely going to make it to the top 4. Mark my words. Let's discuss.
See, today they had an off day with the ball. They looked rusty. T. Natarajan in particular. All those guys who were picked in the first game, they had not played any kind of active cricket. Washington Sundar was injured. He didn't have that much of cricket.
Even Bhuvi was just
Bhuvi was just coming back to his groove. And also, if you look at T. Natarajan, didn't play for 6-7 months. So all those guys had one bad game out. So today, if they click, and of course, the 2 guys, Umran Malik was fantastic. Although he leaked runs, but his pace was superb. The batting, Washington Sundar, Adam Markram ensured I didn't lose by a big margin.
massive margin. Yeah.
But I still think that top order is very dodgy. But they have to stick together. Abhishek, Sharma, I don't know whether that is the.
Answer the question. Top 4 team.
I will say that after the end of this result. I'm still not
Okay.
certain.
To be fair, it's just one game.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Yeah.
CSK saying it's only 3
No,
games.
look at the team.
No, but
Integra.
no.
Yeah,
They're
actually,
not making- they're
I
not
don't
in the
feel
top
like they
four.
are, honestly.
Ah, so
I don't think they're making the top 4.
give reasons.
For me, it's just that I don't think they've got enough firepower anywhere in that order. Like even if you look at their spin department, just Washington Sundar, you tried Abhishek Sharma for an over. Washington Sundar gave away 47 runs in 3 overs.
3 overs. Yeah.
They've got Shreyas Gopal in the side. They might try him one of
Yeah.
these days.
So there was a comment because you're talking about Shreyas Gopal. Akash Jadav's comment was the 2 teams that are not playing leggies, and a very interesting comment. Both are not
CSK.
playing
CSK
and
and
SRH. Yeah, both are not playing a leggy.
And it's not just that. When you look at somebody like a Washington Sundar coming in at 8 and Abhishek Sharma opening, I feel it's a mismatch. I think I would rather have Washington Sundar opening because he has done it for Tamil Nadu in the past.
I agree.
I just don't understand the combination. And then they've got somebody like a Nicholas Puran who's been scoring ducks again. So I'm not too happy with that side.
No, actually, I kind of agree with what Sidhu said. Like with SRH, I think for years we've been saying this: great bowling, batting can be suspect. Great bowling, batting can be suspect. I still don't understand why team management hasn't seen it that way. But yeah, I'm worried about their batting. Honestly, it just doesn't look like it has what it takes to mount a top 4 challenge.
Okay, I'll open myself to trolls. I'd pick them to
You'd
be top
pick them,
4,
okay,
and I'm going to
yeah.
stay with that because it's just one game.
Yes.
I'll need to see a few games before I decide that no, they're not a top 4 team. To me, they look like a top 4 team because their batting is still number 9. I mean, they've got 8. Washington Sundar comes in at number 8. The thing is that previous match, firstly, Rajasthan had an outstanding game. Secondly, they've launched a protest with that catch, Williamson catch, which is clearly
It
bounced,
yeah, it
and
looked
so
like it
that was
bounced,
given out.
yeah.
I'm not saying that they would have won the match, but sometimes these one-off decisions make a huge difference. You need a Williamson in form. I would want a
Yes.
Williamson in form.
In form, yeah.
If I was to look at that batting order, and the reason I picked them is if you got Williamson, Puran, Markram, all of them firing, then that's a hell of a batting order. And then if you got Sundar, I agree with Siddhant where he says Abhishek not to open. I think they only made it to elongate that batting order, but do you really need to do that? I think you can have Abhishek. He can actually tonk the ball, so he can give you those 8 ball 16 runs or 10 ball 20 runs, which he could be very useful for. So you look at him at that role. I would actually go as far as having Markram open. I think he's batting too low down the order.
He has
Yeah.
opened.
That
for
he
South
has
Africa.
opened,
yeah.
so maybe look at that. But I don't know, sometimes you have this safety first approach where you want to show them you have a very long batting order. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe Rajasthan is the template that you could follow where they're saying, okay, we've got 5 batsmen. Rayan Parag is at 6, it's okay whether he fires or not, but we rather have 5 top batsmen come there, and we really don't need a long batting. If Sunrisers start thinking like that, that's going to be crucial. In terms of their bowling, I think that could be the weak link because the Indian bowlers really need to come to the party, especially Natarajan, and you've got Bhuvi and Umran Malik. Yeah, so these 3 are going to be crucial. In terms of spinner, could they go with Shreyas Gopal? They'll have to make a fast bowler sit out.
Yep.
Then I don't know whether between Abhishek or Washington,
No,
I don't
neither
know
of
they're
them,
going to look at.
no.
Maybe if they lose a couple of games, maybe
Yeah.
that is when they look at.
If I have to
dropping one
carry
man.
your point forward, Nikhil, do you think Sunrisers have been handicapped by the fact that almost half of the players in the squad did not have any prior match experience
you
before
pointed
coming to the IPL? It showed.
Sure.
Natarajan was rusty, Washington was
Yes.
rusty, Williamson with that elbow injury. We don't know how how chronic it is.
No, that's a very valid point, and that could. But again, as I'm saying, whether that's the case, we'll only find out if we see 3 poor batting performances and bowling
But at
performances.
the same time, you look at players like Nicholas Puran, they scored 350s against India, and they.
No, yeah, Puran doesn't fit into that.
When they walk out,
Yeah.
they haven't done
Yeah.
anything. My problem with SRH is not just their batting order. I think Aiden Markram, we are rating him way too highly for my liking. I think so.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see him in being
The
picked
playing
at
11.
the auction also.
He was the highest scorer last game.
Was the highest,
yeah.
50.
Yeah.
The problem with him has been that he was part of the South African team as well, but he's slowly become a part of the squad, but not necessarily the 11.
Yes.
He's been kept out of that 11 for a long time. He was an opener.
And toss.
He was the number 3,
Indeed.
then he's now playing at number 4 or 5. So his position has also been changed in South African lineup. So
I'm guessing
I'm
Kane
not
will pick to
convinced
bowl.
by it.
Kane will bowl.
The only thing is,
To field.
yeah, they will
there we
bowl.
go.
Even though they were the last game they were chasing and they still lost. but I think that's the right way to go. But that game was in Pune, and this one is at DY Patil. Yeah. So I think even though now we're beginning to see teams that are batting first also winning, gradually it's happening. Maybe because of the chemical they used last time around.
They delayed it yesterday by 4 hours, the application of it on the grass.
Yeah.
So they were doing it at 1 p.m. usually on the days before yesterday. Yesterday they did it at 5. So that is what
the
they were
timing
talking
also
about. That's probably
What is that
gonna
chemical
make a
that they?
difference.
It is called an A80 dew repellent.
Okay.
That is the name of that which Matthew Hayden pointed out on air. That was a name. It's called A80 dew repellent, which ensures that dew does not come on the surface a lot more.
And that was used last game. Actually, it was being used at every game. Last game they used it much later, 4 hours later.
Yeah.
And
So
that made the
it
difference.
puts like sort of a waxy coating on the grass, because of which the droplets slide off into the ground, like into the earth.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
that's made the
that makes
difference.
a difference.
But I guess it may have some sort of a downside to it, and there may have been some reason why they were putting it at 1. Maybe there was some sort of a downside, but I think they must have eventually thought that the effect of the dew is so much that we'll do with the other side effects of having it delayed, but rather go with that. In terms of changes, I would be very surprised if either team made any changes. Oh, I'm surprised actually. Lucknow could have gone for Jason Holder.
Holder will play.
Holder's got his cap.
Yeah, so but you said no change.
No change.
Sunrisers have made no
Sunrisers, yeah. I don't think Sunrisers needed to change to 1 loss. As I said, should you really change? No, you shouldn't. Just that what we would like to see is change the batting order. So Sunrisers Hyderabad, the same 11. I'm quickly running you through the 11. You've got Kane Williamson, Abhishek Sharma, Rahul Tripathi, Nicholas Pooran, Aiden Markram, and then you've got Abdul Samad, Romario Shepherd, Washington Sundar, Bhuvi Kumar. That's why I said till 9 they've got till 9. Only Natarajan and Umran Malik are the 2 tail enders technically. So till 9 they got batting. But should they open with Abhishek Sharma? I'd rather have Kane Williamson push Markram to open than Rahul and Pooran at 3, Rahul Tripathi at 4 because he had played at 4 for KKR. And then you get Abdul Samad, Romario Shepherd, Washington.
Again,
or Washington can come before that.
I still feel they've got Samad in there, Markram in there, because their lower middle order looks very bad.
Very
No,
dodgy.
but why would you have a problem? See, if you're top 4.
They've got Markram in there, I guess, because they
No,
feel
but
like they'll become top heavy otherwise. And that
So
was
what?
their SRH problem
So
earlier
what?
also.
So what? I'm saying
They used to have Williamson best too.
it's not that number 4 bats ahead of the opener. Now, so if the best batsman is going out, you expect him to get a 50 or a 60. Why do you have to wait till?
But didn't
something
Rahul Tripathi have great success as an opener playing for Rising Pune Supergiant?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
Why can't
But he
he
also
open?
had a great success at 4 last season for
KKR.
KKR.
I think why don't you
Or
try?
you can go with Tripathi as well.
Tripathi.
I'm okay.
Especially
Anyway-
if you have Kane next to him, yes, perfect.
Yeah. I think too obsessed with that righty-lefty combination, which is why they're going with the Williamson.
At times it doesn't even work. I don't know why teams
Absolutely.
are obsessed with it. Anyway, one change for the Lucknow Super Giants.
Shamira out.
Yeah.
As we
Holder in.
expected.
As it- But the only reason, and I agree, between Chamira and Tai had a very good game. Chamira not quite. The last game which they won against Chennai. The only reason I may have been tempted to stick with Chamira because he's got a great record against Nicholas Pooran.
Nicholas Pooran.
I was just reading that he's got a great record against Nicholas Pooran.
I pointed out in my video that that is the reason why they might be looking at retaining Chamira for this game, even though he had a poor outing.
Yeah,
he's
last
fielded
match.
quite a bit also. If you
Yes.
let go of
I
two.
think-
3, I think. 2 or
Three.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I counted.
Yeah.
I think they are wanting to shape up on the fielding bit. That is why they
Okay,
may have
time
probably
to-
left out Chamira.
Time to make our fantasy teams.
Time to make a fantasy team.
Gamezy, fantasy app.
Okay, these guys are making their fantasy team on Gamezy app. If you haven't, quickly do that because you stand a chance to win up to 5 crore daily in prize money. If you want to change your team or make a fresh team in the middle of the innings, you can do that. This is the only app that allows you to do that. Also, there are multiple contests within contests, as in those 5 over slots, so you can make teams for that. It's not just these two who are making the team. I can see my producer Saransh also quickly going to the Gamezy app and making his team behind the camera. So everyone is doing it. So we've updated you about the toss and the changes, but just to sum it up, Hyderabad has won the toss and have decided that they will be chasing, so they'll be bowling first, as has been the norm in this IPL. Only thing is, gradually we are seeing teams that are batting first have also started to win. One big change we saw last game, that they used that chemical a little later at 5 p.m. instead of 1, and that made a huge difference. So maybe bowling second will not be that bad an idea, and so I think there will be some hope then for the Lucknow team. Even despite the fact that SRH has won the toss and they've got what they desire. I think Lucknow may still start as the favourite, just looking at the form. In terms of changes, you've got no changes for Sunrisers Hyderabad, which is a good sign, I would feel. That means they're not panicking, they're treating that as a one-off bad game, and so they're continuing with the same team. And I think with Kane Williamson in charge, they will have some sort of stability, and that's the kind of captain that he is going forward. I don't know whether the management will eventually overturn things. That can happen with SRH, as we saw in the past.
Yes.
But we'll wait for that. For that, SRH will have to have a longish bad run, and then it might happen. One change for the Lucknow Super Giants, as was expected, because we told you on Sports Today a day before that Jason Holder will be available in the video that Shane made. So Jason Holder is indeed making it into the playing 11, and Chamira goes out. It was a toss-up between Ty and Chamira is out. Agree? Sorry, you wanted to say.
When did Washington Sundar bowl in the game against Rajasthan Royals? At what over did he bowl? After the power play?
After the power play.
After the ball.
That was the first tactical blunder that they made.
Could
Washington Sundar is a power play bowler, and you've got a left-hander, Quinton de Kock. If you want to keep de Kock quiet, you have to open with Sundar.
Yes.
Because he will be effective, and he's also managed to try down KL Rahul in the past as well. So if you open with Sundar, that has negated half the damage, because what happened in that first game?
Yeah.
They leaked runs. They leaked runs in the power play and the game was done. If you get Sundar in, which is normal power play position,
Yep.
please go ahead and bowl, because you got a left-right combination. You can keep them quiet also. A quiet KL Rahul can come under pressure. Quinton de Kock, the left-hander, you might have a bit of success against him. So if Sunrisers have to set the ball rolling, you have to open with Sundar.
Yeah, but I think Abhishek Sharma spoke before the game, and he says the role that they have given him is the one to express himself. So they've told him, this is what the support staff has told Abhishek Sharma of SRH, that just go out and play a natural game, and they are helping him, adapt to that. And it says it's a learning process as a team. Luckily, whatever mistakes that they've done, that happened in the first game. They say that, and also here you don't have, you must remember that Sunrisers has had the longest break. While there are teams that have played 3 games, Sunrisers only played one game. So they had the long game. So he said that after that loss, that long break has kind of helped them, because they had time to reflect on the performances. So Abhishek himself has said that he prefers opening, but he is ready to play wherever the team wants him. So that's an indication he may be opening today as well.
Yeah, most likely.
And the role they've assigned is that you be the aggressor. So it doesn't matter if we lose the opener early, you go and attack. I know that he can attack. I think he's played a inning or two in the IPL in the middle order where he's gone berserk. So he has that big hitting ability. The big update from Williamson is, he said, because Siddharth pointed out about the elbow injury, he said, no, the elbow is feeling nice. I'm feeling
Hope so.
good.
Hope
So he's hoping to be in form. I'd actually picked him as the highest run getter this season, and so that is why I based SRH doing well.
One hopes so, because
Yeah.
if Kane Williamson dominates the batting charts, their fortunes will look up a lot better now.
Yeah,
I think that's the role Kane has to play, right? I mean, if you look at that entire batting lineup,
Yes.
it's a lot of attack-minded. Every single one. There's not a single batsman there who's going to look to consolidate. They're all the bang-bang type players.
So is it the Punjab approach they could
yes,
go with?
actually, yes.
They could go. They have that batting lineup
They
to do
should
it.
be going with it. If you're batting till 9 down, you should be going with that.
Maybe they have, but the last game was such that you couldn't see
Yeah,
it. So
see,
I
that
think
is
that's why
true.
you'll have to wait a couple of games to see it. I mean,
Before
as
we
I
can write
said,
off SRH
yeah, so
entirely.
you've got Romario Shepherd at 7, Washington at 8, or vice versa, whatever.
Yeah, depending on the
yeah.
circumstances.
Movie also at 9 is looking
9.
good. I think the comment of the day from our viewers is by, I forgot the name, but his comment was, because I've just missed it, he says, SRH has won more tosses than games this season.
Oh God, just the second game.
Anirban Chattopadhyay's comment.
Okay.
Parth Mishra wants to know, Sir, Sundar opening or not today, as has been suggested by my colleagues as well. Not happening.
Doesn't seem likely.
Doesn't
Yeah.
seem
What
likely.
happened? Abhishek Sharma will definitely open this game.
And I think in a way it's good, because if you change everything after that one game, which a lot of teams in the past were guilty of,
It's never worked for them, really.
RCB, to name some, like one bad game, everything changes.
Everything changes.
And I think that sets off panic amongst the ranks. So a good leader, as Kane Williamson is, and I have a lot of time for him as a captain. I think he's a fantastic. He's got a great head when it comes to being tactically good and in terms of even as a man manager, whatever we've seen. So he's a great captain. So I don't think he's going to panic so soon. So be it. Maybe a few games they don't do well.
Yeah, but again, no balls, please. Sunrisers had two catastrophic no balls.
This played a huge role in the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
Josh Butler would have been gone in the very first
over.
over. Okay, then he had a great partnership with Samson.
Yeah.
If he would have
Yes.
gone in the first over, I think so, because Rajasthan also have a problem with their lower order.
Yeah.
They
The
need
lower-
that
They don't have a lower order.
Yeah,
Exactly.
After Hetmer, you feel like,
Yeah.
where are the batsmen?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Where are the
So,
batsmen?
that's the problem. I
Somewhere-
think that would have made a huge difference, and they missed a trick.
Yeah.
They bowled 4 no balls in the first 5 overs.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
unforgivable.
And in T20 cricket, that's asking for too much.
Somewhere I feel, if I want to just get that attacking quotient up, I feel Samad has been wasted down the order.
Abdul Samad.
Yeah.
Abdul Samad, if you want to have that shock quotient, why don't you play him up the top of the order just for that?
He's been
Yeah.
drafted as a finisher in this side.
But you already
That
got
is what they
Romario
wanted to
Shepherd.
do.
Don't you have Romario Shepherd
have
for that?
plenty
Romario
of
Shepherd-
finish.
Hold on. Technically, Romario Shepherd is not even a finisher with the West Indies side. He's
Yeah.
somebody who's a bowler who can smash and tonk the ball right at the end. But
True.
your finisher has to
Like
be Abdul
Odean
Samad.
Smith,
Yeah.
who's not been doing anything.
Yeah.
Indeed.
In the first game.
Yeah.
Man of the match for it.
Now
But
it
after
looks
that,
tough.
Russell tore him apart, and that's the slide of his fortune started. When
But
whoever
yesterday he was fine again, I guess.
he bowled only two,
But did not bat too well.
did not bat too well.
I
yes.
still suspect he's going to be the one dropped when
When
they
Johnny
have to
Bairstow
play
comes in.
Leicester.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
I agree.
When they are getting in Johnny Besta, I thought they'll
Yeah, I think they're just going to ease him in because MI did a similar thing with Surya. Right? He came back, he was declared for
But now I think so it'll be like, boss, Surya we need because we are losing. They
Yeah.
clearly lacked that middle order. Even though Tilak Verma played a great
Great
job for
one.
them, but if Tilak Verma was not there, they would have lost by an
Even bigger margin.
True.
Imagine Surya and Tilak in the middle order. Wow, that will be very intimidating.
That is the batting you were looking at, but the bowling again is a worry for me.
Yep.
Bappa Ditya Karan is with us. He's saying
I have a
Sundar
opinion.
and Williamson should open. Actually, we got a lot of comments about everyone saying pick Sundar, but he says that good to see SRH sticking to the same composition and not panicking. This franchise in the last few years have done too many flip-flops, which is true.
Yeah.
That's why I said that I'll hold on to that comment about them not doing any
Yeah.
panic changes because it might happen going forward. But good, it's not happened now.
It's not
and
now,
I think
yeah.
that may not come from the captain or the coach. It may come right from the top.
Imagine
From the sun.
From the sun, yes. but,
Right
I
from
mean,
the
top.
but look at the legends in that backroom staff who take the decision. Lara,
Brian
Stein.
Charles Lara, Muthaiya Muralidharan,
Dale Steyn.
Dale Steyn,
Tom
Tom
Moody is
Moody.
there.
Only Cattage left. I think Cattage left. Like,
Catchett was unhappy with what
The auction
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah.
Auction.
Wow.
They all are मतलब RCB के part में तक रहे.
they all RCB.
Dale
Who was?
Steyn-
Dale Steyn
Dale
was.
Steyn has been.
Lara's
Brian
never
Lara,
played
no.
IPL.
Lara is there.
मुझे मुरली धवन.
Yeah.
Muthaiya
Muralidharan
Only was,
So
yes.
two.
हाँ,
Two
सर
है.
एक RCB
That's not a great compliment, by the way. Ex RCB guys.
सर एक अपडेट है. मैक्सवेल ने अपना क्वारंटाइन कंप्लीट कर लिया एंड टीम टू गई.
Big news.
Big news.
Shivam is telling us Maxwell has finished his quarantine
So-
and he will be available for selection in the next game.
RR versus RCB. That'll be
RR
a,
RCB.
So
Wow.
honeymoon after the IPL.
Yeah.
Oh
Honeymoon
yeah.
after the IPL for him.
Or maybe he would enjoy the honeymoon in the IPL only. Could be.
Yeah.
Like you know,
I don't think
traveling.
they'll enjoy the bubble that way.
Yeah, actually they're in a
bubble. You
bubble.
can't move around. You can't
to
do
troll RCB again, Chennai girl. So he's Chennai ka maaplay technically. Chennai ka maaplay matlab son-in-law.
Ah, good you clarify now.
Everywhere he like finds
Put
some
one
Chennai
Tamil.
connections.
By the way, there was a comment here. Somebody wanted you to do. Anirban is saying Vishwanathan sir, please do. ये बाबू राव का style है.
Okay, I'll just make a sentence and then I'll say. मैं 9 बार हारू, 10 बार हारू, 65 बार हारू, लेकिन ये बाबूराव का स्टाइल है दिया.
How many times have you harrowed this time? All predictions. What is it? 8?
Nine-
I forgot.
9-0.
9-0.
Could be perfect 10 today.
Yes, I picked Sunrisers.
You could rival Anil Kumble and join the perfect 10
Join
club.
the 10 club.
I will. The jumbo will then come down hard on me then.
Thank you sir for picking
Sunrisers.
He's
Both of us are discussing this guy should not pick Lucknow.
ever since Chennai's third loss, Shivam's been trolling me left, right, and center. I don't know what hurts even more.
So
Chennai's loss or his trolling.
Shivam, our producer, is a Lucknow fan. Siddhant sitting here is a Lucknow fan, and both of them are so happy because Siddharth,
Is picking
the
Sunrisers.
opposite of Paul the Octopus, who gets all his predictions wrong, has picked Sunrisers.
Where is the Nimbu Mirchi here? Yaar?
It's
I have
in-
to
it's
Actually,
install
bring
it.
Nimbu Mirch for the next show. Please put Nimbu Mirch in.
And if you guys want to try
hang it.
change
What?
it back,
We are earrings of Nimbu Mirchi.
No, hang it there instead
Hang
of
it
a
there.
jersey
Somebody
behind
can
it.
wear earrings also.
or just hold it in your hand rather than ward off the evil spirits.
Do Havan, do paint me black, do anything you want, but somewhere the luck has to change.
Varun Parvataneni is wanting to talk about Pandey facing Jason Holder, ex-teammates.
Yes,
Yes,
Sunrisers
going against
Hyderabad
each other.
ex-teammates, yes.
Was
It'll be
Pandey is with Jason Holder.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah, but-
side, na?
No,
He
he
is
is.
Super Giants.
Yeah.
He is a
No, they were
player.
both at Sunrisers together, and now
Ah.
they are both at Lucknow Super.
oh, so
but
facing
he's
their
saying-
ex-team.
They're
Yes.
ex-team.
Yeah.
Ex-team, yeah.
See,
Yes,
I think-
Pandey is there, and Jason Holder is there. They'll be facing Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, their ex-teammate.
Ex-team.
But
And
Manish
Kane
Pandey
Miller.
also needs a few runs.
Yes.
He has
Like
two
the
failures.
First two games, he hasn't
Yeah.
done anything at all. And considering that Gambhir bought him for a specific reason
Yeah.
in this side, he was with the KKR when Gambhir
When they
was
won,
there,
yeah.
played a specific role, did a great job
Yeah.
for the Kolkata Knight Riders. That hasn't happened for the Sunrisers in recent times, and now
Yeah.
Gambhir probably wanted him to play that KKR sort of role that he used to do.
Yeah.
Aryan Natani is saying that Maxwell will only be available from 9th April against Mumbai Indians as Australia is playing against Pakistan tomorrow. That's not true
No, Max-
because he's not part of that
Yeah.
tour. So Aryan, no. Listen to what we just told you. He's
Yes.
finished.
His honeymoon and
No,
then the
I'll
quarantine.
Quarantine.
tell you why he's
I've-
saying this, because Australian board had earlier issued an advisory that no Australian player can play the IPL
Ah.
before the series gets over.
Ooh.
That is what they had
No,
said.
so but if he's finished quarantine, then you're saying
Coming
he could
No,
still.
but he hasn't played a game.
He hasn't
Yeah.
played a game
No,
So
no,
yet.
no.
maybe what might happen, they may finish the quarantine and then just practice in the nets. But because of that dictat, may not be allowed
But
to
when is the
play.
game?
4th tomorrow.
So
5th.
No, I don't know whether that dictat still exists.
maybe
Where you
maybe
could
not.
practice, you could come out of quarantine and
But
be with
tomorrow
the
is
team.
that final game, right? T20 international.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the
But
final.
so that means he may
T20.
not be able to play that next.
Yeah.
But the update is we can't say whether he'll be in the 11 or not. But what we're saying is that he has finished his quarantine. He can be now with the team in the
With the
nets
team,
practicing.
yes.
Whether he makes it on a team, we can't
Whole
say.
different matter.
Yes.
He leads Chahal, Yuzvendra Chahal, his ex-teammate.
He will face Yuzi Chahal.
He just met.
He just met Chahal.
Oh, he met Yuzi Chahal.
That
Okay.
means Maxwell is certain to get doomed. Because in the Rajasthan Royals team, Chahal and Ashwin have had his number. So many times they've gotten him out. And in the quest for
Actually,
aggression.
nobody needs to have his number. It is dependent on which Maxwell turns
Turns
up.
up.
Exactly.
Either he'll gift his wicket away
Yeah.
or he'll just hammer it.
I've seen such brain fades in life, but the biggest one I remember is Glenn Maxwell coming down the track in the Big Bash League and leaving the ball. And
Oh, yeah.
was clean bowled. He left the ball and he was clean bowled, and I'm sure a lot of you must have seen that replay. If not, go and watch it. Glenn Maxwell leave bowled.
It was the
You will
most
find the
viewed.
craziest video.
It's the most viewed video in the history of the BBL, followed by the catch by Jordan Silk.
Oh yeah. I remember
that was I remember that outstanding catch.
Sydney
76ers.
Sixers best. I think he's one of the best fielders in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, couple of questions. Let's answer that. G's OP says, why does this SRH team look less exciting than other teams? To me, G's, it looks as exciting as any other
I
team.
would argue they look more
What about?
exciting.
Yeah,
I would actually argue that they look
very exciting, but
How?
no, but they could be. Yeah, it doesn't look exciting to Siddhant. So fair enough.
No, actually, I think if the batting fires, big if I know, it would.
Show me the team. No, you go ahead. Shane, finish your thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I mean, if the batting fires, they suddenly look like a lot better team. The problem with SRH, as I've always said for years,
Yeah.
is that bowling dependent, and until that worked out great for them in 2016. After
Yeah.
that template kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, yeah, okay, if you get a decent score against them, they're probably going to struggle. And then it became the years of the Warner dependency, where if he did well, they got a good score.
The prime factor that you have answered, no interest, 3 words, no David Warner.
Yeah, but he didn't have a great season as well,
Also,
which
no
he
Johnny
was let
Bairstow
go.
also.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one was a bit of a shock.
Like a lot of people don't know this. His average is close to 40.
No, the biggest
And
is no
his
Rashid Khan.
And his strike rate is also big. So
No
they're
Rashid
missing 3 key players. in
Rashid
that
Khan.
sense. David Warner, Johnny Bairstow and Rashid
And
Khan.
Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
Rashid Khan also, he also, by the way, recently spoke to a media outlet where he said that a lot of times people look at my figures and see that I have not taken many wickets. They don't realize that I have put so much pressure
Yeah,
on them
yeah.
that they give their wickets away to the bowler who's coming after.
But
them.
we realize it, we say it so
Yeah.
often.
That is probably
In the history of the IPL, for anybody playing over 50 games, Rashid Khan's economy rate of 6.35 is the best.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
he's
Not
one of the
surprised at all.
best in the world.
And
that
just to
regard.
answer G's OP, I mean, I'll just read the Sunrisers Hyderabad with Kane Williamson, Abhishek Sharma, Rahul Tripathi, Nicholas Puran, Aiden Markram, Abdul Samad, Romario Shepherd, Washington Sundar, Bhuvi Kumar, Natarajan, Umran Malik. That batting is very exciting to me. The bowling is their weak link, so you really need the Indian bowlers in Natarajan and Umran Malik to fire. If they can, Bhuvia I think is still dependent. He's showing form now for the Indian team. But if they fire or maybe get Shreyas Gopal in for one of the spinners, that you already have a very power-packed batting lineup, you can compromise a bit on that and make your bowling a bit stronger. I think then the balance
I
can
think
come in.
along with Sundar, there could be a good bowling attack when you have somebody like Shreyas Gopal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you never know with these IPL games, the leg spinners might also get switched.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
the risk of a leg
You need
spinner.
variety, and this
Yeah.
spin bowling department really looks weak right now.
Yeah.
That you're depending way too much on Sundar. And
Yeah.
like he pointed out, he needs to bowl at least a couple of overs in the power play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I think that is
That
best.
has been Sundar's forte. When he was with the RCB also, they used to give him those overs at the beginning. Sometimes Maxwell would do it last season.
Yeah.
Maxwell would do it because otherwise Sundar used to do it for them.
Hmm.
So that is the kind of role you are
For
looking
me,
at for Sundar.
Lucknow Super Giants have one major ace up their sleeve, and that is Ravi
Ravi
Bishnoi.
Bishnoi, agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Ravi Bishnoi
he's
was
been
the key.
outstanding.
2 wickets for just under 16 runs in that previous game that he bowled. That was the difference maker. So Ravi Bishnoi,
No, in the 4 overs, I think we got 2 for 24.
2 for 24, but in one game he got less than 20. I think.
One quick question about
2 for
LS.
24, 2 for 24. When the side has scored more than 200 runs, 210 runs,
It's brilliant.
is amazing.
Brilliant.
So one quick question about LSG. Do you guys think, and this is my opinion, I definitely see it that way, that with Holder now being in the team, suddenly both the batting and bowling looks even more potent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, that is why I think most of us pick them as one of the favorites to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Probably the strongest team on paper. And when we were saying that, it is with Jason Holder in the team.
Yeah.
So I think now you're actually getting to see the strong. And at that time, we also accounted for Mark Wood. Imagine that team with Mark Wood also
This team
there.
with Mark
What a
Wood
team.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
Evan Lewis has been playing really well. So
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll fit in Marcus Stoinis in this
Yeah.
side.
Maybe
yeah.
remove Andrew Tye.
No,
But then bowling can
or
Stoinis be that
who will
bowler?
you get?
Stoinis can't he bowl in the middle as
No,
well as the
but-
death overs?
Oh, no, his
But
death bowling
Ty
was-
is
Yeah.
a proper death bowler. Stoinis is an
Specialist.
all-rounder who bowls a bit. He's a
Yeah.
batsman first.
He's a-
Unless you expect Jason and Avesh to do that job.
No,
And
but
then
See,
Stoinis
anyway,
goes
you
in. I don't
have
know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bowlers with you.
No, you do.
So
That won't be an issue.
Even Andrew Tye, if he goes out, Marcus Stoinis can give in a couple of overs. You need that finishing
But you know,
touch.
you're
also.
compromising with a lot of bowlers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's a
you-
death
No,
bowler.
I think you are
rare breed.
sacrificing a great deal in your bowling, trying to
Exactly.
accommodate Stoinis.
Yeah.
I think
to leave out Andrew Tye.
you need to watch how Evan Lewis does again, because once Stoinis is available, that is the one slot which will be most
But he
under.
won then the game last
Yeah,
year.
but
What
again,
if he gets two ducks after?
Two more
I'll
games.
tell you what, Andrew Tye, a lot of people have not been looking at him, but because I followed the BBL this season, I know he's back to his best.
Best, yeah.
If there was a time.
No, he had a great game.
Last couple of years, he hasn't been that great. We know he was not picked entirely in the initial auction.
Yes.
It was only after Mark Wood got injured that they got him.
That they got him the
So,
replacement.
but Andrew Tye in the BBL has done so well. His side eventually won the title also.
Yeah.
True.
The Perth Scorchers. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick.
Okay, Arya Natani saying Warner just tweeted about today's match saying who will score most runs, trolling level. Is he trolling them? Could genuinely
He's
be.
trolling them.
Why would he ask
Wow.
about has he done this with any other game? If not,
Because
it's
he's just
100%
slandered,
true.
nah.
Yeah.
He just put a
So
video out
you're
saying I'm in
it's
Mumbai.
all a coincidence that the first game he tweets about
But it's an
this was the
SRH
Niners
game, yeah.
and talking specifically about who's going to score the most number of runs.
Maybe.
Yes.
His social media
Very-
game is
very
right
well
on top.
played, Very well played.
Always.
The way how he does those TikTok videos of
TikTok.
South,
He's
Yeah.
the king.
he's the king.
He-
That's why did the Sunrisers Hyderabad fan base get traumatized? Because they felt, oh, now he will not do those TikTok videos anymore.
No, they were not bothered that such a good batsman is gone.
Yeah.
They were worried about
The
TikTok.
TikTok stardom is gone then.
No, by the way, yesterday when the Delhi Capitals had put out that post for David Warner, in that David Warner's commented need TikTok suggestions, video suggestions and all that.
But TikTok is banned here.
Yeah.
No, like the songs that he wants to do.
Yeah.
No, he'll put them on Insta also. No?
Insta.
He put them as reels.
So he'll put them on TikTok also, and he also puts them on Insta. So both you can see.
Kushal Khurana says KL went from leading RCB light to now SRH light, which means because Punjab was RCB light
Yes.
with so many players, and now SRH light because 5 out of 11 players are ex-SRH players.
Go back. I want to see this side. Let's see who all are there.
That is
KL has played for SRH, I believe.
Yeah, just open the.
KL,
Manish,
Jason Holder.
For RCB.
No,
For
he's
SRH,
saying SRH light.
SRH. Yes, Holders played.
Who the
Manish
other
has-
two? Let's.
Oh, see me na in that.
If only we.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Exactly. So look at who all are in the Lucknow
Huda,
team.
Deepak Huda.
Deepak
Yes.
Huda is there.
Manish Pandey,
So
Deepak Huda, then
then
Jason Holder,
Jason Holder.
KL.
KL himself,
Yeah.
Four.
Who's the fifth?
not Bishnoi, not
Not
Avesh,
Badoni, not Kunal.
not Krunal,
Not Lewis also.
not Lewis. Who's the fifth player?
Let's just.
Fifth? No, not Quinton.
No, not Quinton.
No, not
Quinton
Quinton.
was.
Ty, was he ever?
Is
Could
he
have
low?
been.
Just go down to the squad. I think we have to see somebody
may have
from the
been, yeah,
squad.
exactly.
Right in the squad.
Squad, yeah.
Maybe
The
someone in
squad
the
there can be for sure.
Yeah,
go down,
could be
go
in
down,
the
go down.
squad. Yes.
No, go.
Here, right
Yes.
here.
Who is?
Priyam Garg.
Yeah.
Priyam
Garg,
Garg.
But Priyam Garg is from SRH only.
No,
he's
no,
part of
not that,
SRH
not
only.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, let's look at the
Wait.
Lucknow squad.
Shahbaz Nadeem.
Shahbaz Nadeem.
yes, Nadeem.
Yes.
Shahbaz Nadeem.
Shahbaz Nadeem.
Shahbaz Nadeem was.
Yep.
Those are the five. Thank you for keeping us on our toes. We love this.
Exactly.
That was an interesting
It became
analysis.
like a trivia. Who are
Yeah, who was that fifth player?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Akash Jadhav, thank you so much for your comment. And you're from Pune. It's a lovely city.
Nikhil loves the city for.
My parents stay there, so
Yes,
it's
very nice
beautiful.
city.
My best friends are there, so yes, it is. Oh, Galaxy Warrior says Quinton de Kock in 2013. Was he with SRH? Could have been.
Could
That's
be.
why
Could
I don't know.
be.
There's
Could
something.
be.
So 6 players.
Six then if you
Yes.
Siri, what are
Yeah,
you
that
doing?
missed.
Siri.
Query not responding.
Sunil, hi to you as well for joining us. Siddhant Sachdeva is saying, Nikhil sir, if you need a defender for next Sunday, I'm available. Okay, Siddhant, for a football game. We need a lot of defenders. So I will call you then if we need a defender for our football
Yes,
match.
Sunrisers Hyderabad, Quinton de Kock.
Yes.
So
Shubham.
5 part of the 11 also, 6 in the whole squad.
Let's try and answer Shubham Dangi's question. He says, sir, do you think it's lack of motivation for MS Dhoni because there's nothing that he hasn't won? I don't think so. If he was not motivated enough,
wouldn't be playing.
he wouldn't have come to the IPL at all. He's come here, and because you're a champion, because you won a lot, you always want to win. It's just that you got to realize, see, I mean, it could be, he's nearing the end of his career. We all know that. And, time doesn't wait for anyone. Even the best of players go through a bad phase. In MS Dhoni's case, it may not be a bad phase as such. It may just be that, he's heading towards the end of his career. Maybe just that. I don't think the motivation will be less for him at all. Especially champion players. They're so used to winning, and winning is so addictive that you will never have lack of motivation. You never
Absolutely.
settle for anything. So I don't think that's the case. But as I said, time stops for no one, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Why Perth Scorchers won both BBL and WBBL? Amazing.
Yeah.
That's actually.
But they've got a great record. They've lost finals also.
Yeah.
They're like Chennai Super Kings. they reach the final, they lose.
They lose.
Sometimes
And they
they
win
win
it sometimes.
See, it's always the Perth and Sydney derby at the WBBL. Either the Sydney Sixers win it or the Perth Scorchers win it in both the WBBL and BBL, if you have to look at it.
No, but this time, last year it was Melbourne Renegades.
Renegades, yeah.
Harsh Patel says, I think there will be a competition between 5 teams for the 4th spot. Very well could be. I think it
It's
will be.
always the case.
It's always.
I think now with
And
10
that
teams,
is
you'll
what-
see 6 teams
No, but
competing.
that will make the season so much better for
Yeah,
everybody to watch.
absolutely.
True,
Well,
absolutely.
last season, other than SRH, everyone else was competing. SRH is the only one which
Every
had
game
said,
was crucial, and
Bye bye,
that's what it's
Tata.
about.
Ever since
Okay.
this eliminator, qualifier, and all these things came, no, from 2012 till now, only the 3rd and the 4th spots were being competed for ever. The top 2 are settled.
pick your winners or score predictions
Siddharth,
or
you
whatever
first.
you have. No, Siddharth, why first?
Because whatever he says, I'll go opposite. No?
Okay, Lucknow Super Giants making 180, but Sunrisers winning.
Lucknow making 200 and Lucknow winning.
Okay. I think Lucknow will make 170 and I think they would win. Yeah, that's it.
I think Lucknow will make 190 and SRH will chase.
So like 170, 80, 90 and
190
200.
SRH. So 2 SRH guys, 2
And 2 people
Lucknow.
saying Lucknow.
Yeah, I just wanted to balance things
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I mean, overall on paper, Lucknow Super Giants the stronger team. I'd have to accept,
Very,
but
very.
then again, the toss now is even things out, so it'll be interesting.
Exactly.
Let's see. We'll catch you in the middle of the innings. Already reminded you about the Gamezy app, so don't forget to download that. And bye bye.